Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Anchor gives you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. Creation tools allows you to record and edit your broadcast so it sounds great. And they even distribute your broadcast for you so that it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. So make sure you download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hello everyone, and welcome to FET News. I am Damian Anderson, and here are your news. Join us every Thursday on our podcast for Frett's Education Thoughts, where host Andrew Frett will discuss his own opinion about the topics of our previous episode of Future Educators Talk. So join him every Thursday. Also join me, Damian Anderson, from my home, Vivid Instagram Live for Future Educators Talk Home Edition every Tuesday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Central. And you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Anderson's Education Thoughts, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Brand new episodes of Future Educators Talk drops every Wednesday on our podcast. So follow and subscribe wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And make sure you follow us on our social media platforms, if you haven't done so already, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On Facebook, facebook.com/Future Educators Talk, Twitter at Future ED Talk, and on Instagram at Future Educators Talk. So follow our podcast. And follow your hosts, Damian Anderson and Andrew Frett, on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow me on Instagram at @Damian Anderson and on Twitter at _Damian Anderson. And you can follow Andrew Frett on Instagram at It's Andrew Frett and on Twitter at Darren_Frett. So follow your hosts. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Future Educators Talk, because we will start videoing some episodes of our podcast in April. So subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. Plus, hit the notification bell so you know when there's a new episode out, and you can also listen to some previous episodes of our podcast. So hit the bell, because if you don't, you're certainly missing out, especially when we start videoing our podcast. So subscribe. Have a wonderful day, you guys, and make sure you listen to this week's episode of Future Educators Talk starting now. What's up, everyone? I hope each and every one of you are doing well, are staying at home, and are just taking care of yourself as possible. So welcome back to another episode of Future Educators Talk. It's me again, your host, Damian Anderson. It's me again, your host, Damian Anderson. So, on this week's episode of Future Educators Talk, the topic is a 6-year-old girl. She was held at a mental health facility for 48 hours after alleged tantrum at school. Yes, you guys. Yes. For 48 hours at a mental health facility. So let's just dive right in, all right, and give y'all my thoughts on what I think of this story here. So this happened back in February, somewhere like around February, maybe February 15 ish. I don't know. But this, yeah, it's a lot. A 6-year-old Florida student, she was sent to a mental health facility under the Baker Act on February the 4th. So, okay, February the 4th. After a series of alleged outbursts at school, and authorities and her family said she was kept there for 48 hours. Now, her mother is speaking out. Well, she has spoke out about this. And I will give y'all the video on that later on into the week so y'all can see what she says about it. And she says the entire situation was avoidable and is a complete outrage. Yes. So, Martina Falk says officials from Love Gov Elementary School in Jacksonville called her that day to inform her that her daughter, Nadia, was out of control and will be sent to a mental health institution based on the recommendation of licensed healthcare professionals. Okay, so yeah. Let me keep reading, you guys. Let me keep reading to give y'all some more deets on this. So, the mother, she said, I was alerted of the incident after she was Baker Act. She said this in an interview with Good Morning America, and I will try to find that interview for you guys. So, like I said, for y'all to check it out. So, she was alerted of this after she was Baker Act. So after, they didn't tell her right before I recorded this episode. I was watching the video again, and the caption and what the mother was saying, that she was not told of this happening after, this had happened, and she wasn't aware of this at all. So it's just to me, you guys, this is a total of BS right here. It is. It's just unbelievable of sending this child here to a mental health facility after what she had did at the school. Now, this student right here, she is I believe a special needs kid. So there's, that right there, you have but anyways, if this child was not a special needs kid or not, I don't think this is right at all. It's not right because, and I just got, like I said, I just got through watching the video here, and it was saying that by law that you can do this. That is not right, in my opinion. That is not right at all. Why would a law says that you can't do this after, of a certain situation that is happening, that had happened, and you can do this? That's not right. That is totally not right at all. Yeah, it's just not. So later on into this episode, I will be reading some comments that I had found on this story right here, you guys, of what some people have to say about this. So that's gonna be later on into this episode. But continuing on, the mother, she said to a resource officer that told her she need to get in contact. She need to get in contact with the fertility hospital. Excuse me. She said the officer told her, quote, "There is nothing else we could do. Your daughter is completely out of control, and we were not able to de-escalate the situation." Okay, wait a minute. Yes, she could. Yes, she could have done something instead of sending this poor child to a mental health facility of who knows what they did there to her. And she has nightmares about this. Also, what the mother said in a video, which I will release later on this week. There's nothing else we could do. Yes, there is. There is something else that y'all have did instead of sending her to that mental health facility. Yes, there was. There's many ways y'all could have did something. Your daughter is completely out of control. What did she do? She is not out of control. She is not. Of course, she had destroyed some school properties, and I heard that she had attacked some staff members, but this girl is not out of control. She's not. And we were not able to de-escalate the situation. Please, of course you could. Like I said, there's many ways that y'all could have done this instead of sending her to that mental health facility. There's many ways that y'all could have handled this situation better. And if so, then I would not be even talking about the story with you guys right now. So it's bizarre. So the student, the little girl, Nadia, allegedly, like I was saying, she allegedly was destroying school property, attacking staff, and was out of control and running out of school. A clinical social worker said, according to the police incident report. So this is allegedly, you guys. Allegedly. We don't know. So the school said it was the decision of a third party, not the school, to Baker Act the child. Now, isn't that interesting, you guys? Isn't that interesting? Now, if y'all wondering what is the Baker Act, well, the Baker Act is a Florida law that enables families and loved ones to provide emergency mental health services and temporary detention for people who are impaired because of their mental illness and who are unable to determine their needs for treatment. So that is what the Baker Act is, you guys, right there. So now, continuing with the Baker Act, you guys, who can Baker Act a person? So the Baker Act is a existing law that provides for temporary institutionalization of individuals who meet certain criteria. It can only be used for specific authorized persons, including judges, mental health professionals, law enforcement personnel, and doctors. So, this is what it can do. The Baker Act, this is what it can do. So, it says the school said it was the decision of a third party, not the school. So they didn't make this decision. It was by a third party who made this decision to Baker Act the child of going to this mental health intuition. Now, in Florida, you guys, this is in Florida. The Baker Act allows for a person to be held involuntarily at a mental health facility for up to 72 hours. Up to 72 hours. If that person is deemed a danger to themselves or others. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of that right there? I would like to hear your thoughts on this. So y'all can send in a voice message to us by going to by going to anchor.fm/futureedtalk/message to where y'all can record your message to us of letting us know what you guys think of this. Because again, like I said, this is so bizarre. It is so bizarre. It is. Now, continue on. Now, this is quote right here. When a student behavior presents a risk of self-harm or harm to others, the school district procedure is to call child guidance or crisis response provider. So, yeah, that's right there. And this was a Duval County Public Schools said in a statement to ABC News. Okay. So after the mother learned her daughter was taken to a mental health intuition without her input, she said she felt a wide range of emotions. Of course. Because why are y'all doing this? It is so without her knowledge of not letting her know. It's just ridiculous to me. Ridiculous of not telling the mother about this. And y'all doing it without her permission anyways. And it's just, of course, she's gonna feel all these emotions about why y'all did this to my child, why y'all did not tell me about this, so on and so on. It is just ridiculous. Totally ridiculous of not, sorry you guys, that was alarm going off my phone. Yeah, it's just so ridiculous of doing this to the mother and to the child at the same time. Because who knows, like I said earlier, who knows what they did to her at this mental health facility? Who knows? And she might had nightmares about this. I don't know, but it is so ridiculous. So yeah. But most of all, you guys, she felt helpless. She felt helpless. There's, of how in the world can I help? How, it's like there's nothing that she could have, did or done about this. It was just taken out of her hands. It was just, without her permission in the first place. So, like I said, keep on saying ridiculous, it's ridiculous, it's ridiculous. So, and here's what the mother, she told GMA. Here's what she told them. I'm heartbroken. I felt anger, disappointment, but I think the biggest emotion I felt was helpless. Because I know that I have done everything I could possibly do to help my daughter at this school. Wow. 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 And I feel her pain too, you guys. I totally can feel her pain of feeling heartbroken, anger, disappointment, helpless. All the emotions that she was going through at that time. And I just can't tell you guys of, like, what if this was your children, you guys? What if this had happened to your children? How would you feel about it? Honestly, how would you feel about it? Would you feel the same way as this mother had felt? Or would you have felt something differently about it? To me, I have a lot of questions about this. A lot of questions about this. And maybe Andrew has a lot of questions about this as well when he's probably going to talk about it on our mini series, Frett's Education Thoughts. So it's, again, I totally feel all of her emotions. I deeply do, and so do a lot of other people, a lot of other parents. It's just bizarre, ridiculous. So, the mother said her daughter, who had been diagnosed, with an intellectual disability, was enrolled in this school precisely because it catered towards students like her daughter. She said she thought she stuck go since the school has small classroom sizes and, quote, specifically trained staff for special needs children that were similar to my daughter. Okay. Yeah. So her authority said that Nadia had been experienced trauma in school for a few days, probably before this had even happened. Excuse me. And in a body camera footage released by the police, Nadia is seen walking calmly hand in hand with the officer, which I would try to pull up for you guys as well this of her walking with the police officer, because like I said right before I did this episode, I was watching the video again and seeing that police with the officer. So I will show y'all this later on this week. She was seen walking calmly hand in hand with the officer, asking, listen to this you guys, asking if she's going to jail. Wow. Isn't this, again, I keep saying ridiculous. This is insane ridiculous. Wow. I can't get past this right here, you guys. I can't. And when y'all see this video later on this week, after she has said that, an officer has said that, she said that, am I going to jail? And the officer said, no, of course not. You are a good girl. You're not going to jail. We just, have to take you somewhere. And in the video, which y'all will see, they was already in the car, and she was saying that, we're going on a field trip. Are you kidding me? We're going on a field trip? You call this a field trip? A mental health facility of who knows what's going on there? You taking this girl there, and you're saying, "Whoa, this is a field trip. Are you excited?" And Nadia, she was saying, "We're going on a field trip," and the woman, she said that, well, I feel like this is a field trip outside. If it's somewhere outside of school, of course it's a field trip. Okay, well, there you have it right there. So Nadia said that, asking if she's going to jail, and if the officer had a snack before being asked to sit in the back seat of the police car. And just like I said, you guys, quote right here, no, you're not going to jail. You're not no bad person. You're not going to jail. The officer is heard saying on footage. The officer is then heard telling another cop that she's fine. There's nothing wrong with her. After saying, before the footage cut off, that the school, quote, may have agitated her a little bit. Okay. Alright. We're getting even more information, more details about this, you guys. So, I'm sorry, you guys. My alarm keeps going off. So it's just a lot, you guys. It is just a lot. It is. It is really it is just too much. Wow. Okay. All right then. So, now, the officer, I just read that, you guys. So, in response to the released footage, the school district told ABC News that law enforcement was not present when Nadia's alleged action motivated the district to call for help. Okay. Quote right here, The police officers were also not present when child guidance was intervening with the student, the district said. The student was calm when she left the school, but at that point, child guidance had already made a decision to make an act based on their intervention with the student. Come on now. It gets serious, get real. Okay. Okay. So, okay. Now, the mother's authority said they want to sit down with the school officials so Nadia can continue with her education. Quote right here, I just don't want us to be perceived like we're just out for the money. We really want to try to resolve Nadia's educational status so she can go to school. And this was back, you guys, in February. As of right now, schools are closed. But after this, is she still in school or what? So the authority told GMA this. So that's really what our goal is. Not really a lawsuit at this point. However, the authority said someone must pay for the consequences for how Nadia and her mother were treated. Exactly. I'm with the authority. Someone needs to pay for their actions, for their consequences, for how they treated Nadia and her mother. Because, like I've been saying this episode, this is not right. This is bizarre. What are you doing? You can't do this. And with this Baker Act right here, you guys, it's effective. It's enforced in Florida. I don't know what I feel about this. You're doing this to a little girl here, to a student that has, no idea in her mind of what's going on. I just don't think this is right for y'all of had doing this. And how y'all did this to the mother. It was not right at all. It was not right at all. You can't do this here. You can't do this. Not right. So yeah, someone must pay for their consequences and their actions immediately. I don't know if someone did, but this story needs to be updated. We need to keep up with this story here, you guys. We need to keep up with this story here. And lastly, to end the story, right before I read some comics, quote right here, we're prepared to put the state of Florida on notice and let them know that this is not acceptable. And thank you, like I've been saying, this is not acceptable at all. You cannot do this to a little girl. You can't do this. Of her not knowing what's going on, y'all not telling the mother, y'all did this without her permission in the first place. It's not right. You can't do this. It is not acceptable. You can't. I don't think this law, you guys, should be, I don't know. This law should not exist in Florida because you can't take the child out of school and take her to whatever y'all please of doing to this mental health facility. I mean, And plus, you guys, she's special needs. But even if she wasn't, this is not right. You can't do this at all. So, we're prepared to put the state of Florida on notice and let them know that this is not acceptable. We must protect our children. Exactly. We must protect our children. So we're asking for a dialogue, a conversation. Since this is out here now, don't let this go in vain, the authorities said. So, I absolutely agree. 100%. 100%. Now, yeah. 100%, you guys. Now, I am going to be reading. That's the end of this story right here. Now I'm going to be reading some comments about the story right here that I have found on the actual story page, and also be reading some on Twitter as well. So the first comment here, and I'm not going to give out this person's name. I'm just gonna, all these comments right here that I'm sharing with you guys, they're anonymous right here because I don't want to give out the person's name. So one comment here says, if the child was calm and cooperating with the police, why did she need a mental health facility? I'm with her right there. Well, I'm with this person right here. If the child was, listen to this, you guys. If the child was calm and cooperating with the police, why did she need a mental health facility? It appears that the girl had calmed down. I'm agreeing because as y'all will see in the video, yes. Why was the mother... Okay. That should be the last time of that alarm. I'm so sorry, you guys. Why was the mother or the parents not called to try to de-escalate the situation before deciding to have her institutionalized? This sure seems to be an over-the-top reaction by the school. And who should just believe these teachers or social workers? The school should video evidence of what this girl was doing, of allegedly of destroying school properties, attacking the staff members. So that's what this person, the last comment, is saying here. Okay. Another comment is, this Baker Act seems ridiculous. Absolutely. The school should have at least contacted the parent first before having cops come to take this child to a mental health facility. Shaking my head. Yes, they should have contacted her before this, but they did this without her permission. It's a shame. So, under this comment right here, it looks, to me at least, like the school had her institutionalized to punish her for giving them a hard time. And then a person commented under her saying, that's awful. You just don't do things like that to kids. Absolutely. You don't do this to kids, you guys. It's just not right. It's wrong. Some people should never be teachers. That Baker Act is so wrong too. The parent should always be contacted immediately in such cases. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I dislike having cops too involved in students' lives, especially little kids. It's just sending a message to this kid to be afraid of the cops. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Another comment. Taking some action seems reasonable, but clearly something more kind, like a mental health professional visiting the home to both observe and give advice would be a better step. Adding trauma to what the child is already dealing with doesn't seem helpful. Agreed. Next, so the Baker Act is perfectly viable when it's a 6-year-old with the inability to control typical child tantrums. But when it's an old fool with a gun screaming and shouting, we can't put them in a facility because the Second Amendment stands your ground. Right to shoot people who almost cut me off on the freeway, etc. Okay. I'm gonna do one more comment on this page and then flip over to the Twitter. The investigators need to learn the truth about what happened before the call was made to commit her to a mental health facility. Regardless of whether the call was the best tool to do or not, it's always a good idea to review what happened during any sort of crisis and make any necessary revision to ensure that any future incidents are carried out in a more effective manner. Okay. Alright. Now, more comments right here I found on Twitter is one comment is, this was criminal on part of the school. Okay. You have another that says, fire whoever did not have skills to work with a upset 6-year-old at that school. Prosecute any school officials who sustain this. Fire any police officer who cannot peacefully de-escalate a tantrum. This child needs a lawyer and therapy after this scary experience. Okay. Another comment that this is legal kidnapping. She didn't need to be sedated. I want her teacher's name. She needs to be fired for traumatizing this 6-year-old. Wow. Okay. So that's now continuing on with some more comments. You have common sense seems non-existent in the majority of people. You have more immature parents and teachers. Instead of taking the time to listen and understand the child, they just called the cops and pushed the responsibility onto someone else. you have another one is, I had to take a deep breath. I don't want any visualize this happening to my 6-year-old niece. My mental state would be gone. I'm just looking at all these comments, you guys. It's this story right here is ridiculous of this happening to this child right here, and how the mother is treated with. It's a lot, you guys. Absolutely a lot. Are you kidding me? This little girl should have been taken home, or they should have called her mom first. There's no reason to call the police on a child this young for a tantrum. Exactly. Fire everyone that permitted this to happen, or didn't speak up for a 6-year-old. 6-year-old kids from all backgrounds throw tantrums. Another one is, as a black woman, the feeling that this country can take your kids without your authority is not more than what they did during slavery. As if she had no parental and their right was involved, or nor parents, excuse me. Ridiculous, you guys. This story is and lastly, you guys, this is racism in action. Our children are seen as essential threats rather than emotionally immature kids. They are manhandled, tried as adults, subject to chokeholds and lethal force. That's life in a police state. That is America. Just open your eyes. So I'm just continuing on looking at these comments, and it is just, like I keep saying, bizarre, ridiculous, because this should not happen to a 6-year-old, or to any 6-year-olds at all. I don't like it. I just didn't like this at all. So that's this story right here, the end of this topic, you guys. So I just really wanted to talk about this topic right here, because it is just whoa. So thank you guys for listening to what I have to say, of my thoughts, of my opinions, what I have to say about the story. So thank you guys for listening to this episode right here. So thank you guys so much. Now, before I end this episode, I just got some news about something from my good friend and co-host Andrew Frett. I just got some news, so I'm gonna share this with you guys. Effective immediately, I'm taking a break from the Future Educators Talk podcast due to a lot of burden between work, recording episodes, doing stuff for my family. I need to reset and recharge, because I feel like I'm about to explode. However, I will be on Across the State, which is our other podcast, you guys, that we have, our new podcast. He'll be on for this week episode of Across the State this Saturday, and he will also be doing he will also be doing the Future Educators Talk Home Edition this Saturday, you guys, at 1:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Central. So y'all check that out on Instagram, on our Instagram pages. On our Instagram page, Future Educators Talk, when he goes live with that. He continues on saying, I just need more time to rest and recharge. But don't fret, but he says, but don't fret, you guys. There's going to be a double episode of Frett Education Thoughts that will come out this week, you guys, on Thursday. So there's going to be 2 episodes out. And he says, I will be back next week fully recharged. I don't know if he means by, because I'm just now seeing this, you guys. I don't know if he says, I will be back next week fully recharged on Future Educators Talk. I don't know, because he says that he's taking a break from this podcast, so who knows. And then also, he also says that if you want to be a guest on Frett's Education Thoughts, our new miniseries, please let him know, you guys. So please let him know on his Twitter at Darren_Frett. By going to his Twitter at Darren_Frett and on Instagram at It'sAndrewFrett if you want to be a guest on his show. So yes, like I have been saying, you guys, this season, well, I was saying in a couple of episodes ago, and also he has said that we don't know what's the fate for the rest of season 3 and continuing onward with Future Educators Talk, because his schedule, you guys, is just so weird to me. It's just so weird because now he works, we mentioned this, he works in the mornings now instead of afternoons, because we used to record episodes in the mornings, but now since his schedule had changed from working to the afternoons to now in the mornings, our schedule is totally different now. Then plus doing online classes now since schools are closed down with this COVID-19, and he is still working, you guys. He is still working during this pandemic. He is still working. His job is he's if you check out his Twitter account, he talk about that he is still working, that his company, just check out his Twitter for that information. So yeah, we been talking, and I'm going to talk with him some more about what are we going to do, what is going to be the fate of Future Educators Talk, because it's just this season, you guys, it's just been mainly, starting with season 3, starting with, I believe, episode 3 is when I started doing the episodes alone, and continuing to right now. But last week he was on for just that last week episode, but continuing forward, you guys, I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to talk with him some more about this and keep y'all updated on this. So, but as of right now, like I said in a couple episodes ago, that this season, you guys, is just going to be, for now, for some episodes, you guys, it is just going to be me. So y'all are stuck with me for who knows how long. Who knows how long. Now, I will be in the coming weeks, and so I will bring on some guests. I do we have a upcoming guest coming on for either next week's episode or the week after that. No, it's next week episode because the week after that will be April 29th, which is our first videoing for our podcast, which I am still going to do for you guys. Unfortunately, Andrew, he may not be in it, so it's just is what it is, you guys. It's just, we don't know, but I'll keep y'all updated with all the information that we are talking about and what's going to be the future for Future Educators Talk. And speaking of the future for Future Educators Talk, our new co-host was supposed to join us for this episode, but unfortunately our new co-host is not here with us just yet. So we'll keep y'all updated of when we will have our new co-host on. So yeah, it's probably, since we're in this situation right now, we're probably just gonna have to postpone and let our new co-host join for season 4 or next season. For season 4, which will begin in August. So yeah. So that's right there, you guys. So as of now, I'm going to be continuing on with Future Educators Talk. I'm going to be giving y'all more episodes of Future Educators Talk. I am not going to take a break from this because if I do, then there's no host to do Future Educators Talk because there are 2 of us. So I'm gonna keep on going for you guys, so y'all can listen to new topics that I have to mention, and I'll continue on doing this for Andrew when he feels like coming back. If he's coming back, we don't know, but I'll keep y'all updated. So that's it, you guys, for this week's episode of Future Educators Talk. Thank you guys so much for listening to what I have to say on this week's episode. So thank you guys so much. And also, before I end, if you want to send us any questions, if you have any questions for us, some future topics that you want me to discuss, any concerns, if you have any concerns, or anything, if it's just anything, any stories that you guys want to share with me, you guys, about how are y'all doing during this COVID-19 and how can we help out, any feedback for us, you guys, jokes, questions, anything to help us out, please send in your questions and all of those to us, you guys, because we want to hear from you guys, our listeners. So you can go to anchor.fm/futureedtalk/message to where you can record your message to us, and we would love to hear from you guys, and we will upload those messages to where everyone can hear what you have to say, or personally, it could be private, and we could just, do your name anonymous, And we want to hear from you guys of what you have to say. Give us this feedback for our podcast, because by you guys listening in to each week, you make our podcast better. So thank you guys so very much. So, without further ado, you guys, I am your host, Damian Anderson, and I will see y'all back on here on a all new episode of Future Educators Talk. So, until then, you guys, take care, stay safe, and remember to wash your hands. Don't just listen to Future Educators Talk on your smartphone. Continue the conversation online. Like us on Facebook. Be a part of the conversation by telling us what you think. Join us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes content. And follow along on Twitter to stay up to date with what's happening on our podcast and beyond. It's you who keeps Future Educators Talk going. So like, comment, share, and connect everywhere with us. You get social. Let's listen.